Welcome to this video presentation on the Centaurian civilization, authored by Pavel Snjepanovich. 30,000 years ago, an alien scout ship from Alpha Centauri discovered Earth. They abducted prehistoric humans to work as slaves on their home planet, Eos. Eventually, humans revolted, seized control of the planet, and formed a massive space empire that spans the Milky Way while keeping their existence hidden from Earth. The Centaurian leadership includes figures like Emperor Xerxes Rexus, who is facing a succession crisis, the first Emperor Calix Vori, who established the policy of non-interaction with Earth, and the martyred figure Prim Manux, whose history as the first abducted human serves as a foundation for their society. Centaurian law is built on 4 pillars: strict non-contact with Earthlings, the right to trial by combat for serious crimes, an imperial government structure with clear succession, and government-subsidized expansion missions across the galaxy. Centaurian values emphasize a militaristic, centralized society, the veneration of ancestors, and a nomadic spirit of exploration. Culturally, they honor the emperor through specific toasts and maintain icons of Prim Manux in their homes. In their expanding territory, a subculture has emerged in the Sirius system, where settlers are increasingly dissatisfied with imperial rule. Furthermore, their culture maintains strict taboos against non-human alien species and permits public duels to resolve disputes. Becoming a Centaurian warrior involves a rigorous 3-stage process: a preliminal phase of separation, a liminal phase of isolation and focus, and a post-liminal series of trials involving balance, heat, and courage, culminating in status integration. Their language is defined by specific phonemes and morphemes relating to concepts like strength, fire, and transformation. Grammatically, their syntax places the verb at the end of the sentence, with nouns serving as modifiers. Centaurian social structure is based on bilateral descent, where lineage is traced through both parents. They practice egalitarian succession, meaning the throne is accessible regardless of gender. Centaurian society is endogamous, reinforcing their xenophobic stance toward outsiders, and permits polygyny to encourage large, strong lineages. Marital practices include the exchange of goods to demonstrate strength and forge alliances, while divorce, though rare, is facilitated by a ritual trial. Same-sex relationships are socially accepted, though they are not recognized as marriage. Family responsibilities are enforced through a dual-burden mandate, with severe punishments for neglect. Contraceptive technology exists, but is restricted to elites, and is generally discouraged by the empire. The core of their religion is the Ember Path, which centers on the legacy of Prim Manux. It teaches that suffering is a sacred forge, and that salvation is achieved through duty and strength. Spiritually, Centaurians believe in an inner ember inherited from their origins. Upon death, this energy returns to the Great Flame. Their rituals, such as daily devotions and breath chants, emphasize becoming worthy of remembrance through their actions and influence. Finally, their industrial capacity is defined by planetary foundries and forge cities that harvest energy from volcanic ridges. Their food supply is equally efficient, relying on engineered life forms to support their physiology. Moving on to the Centaurian economy, it is a hierarchical, state-directed system. Production is controlled by ministries, powerful guilds, and military houses, with all economic activities serving the empire's goals of expansion and duty. Centaurians view poverty as a failure of individual integration into their warrior economic system. They prevent economic isolation through mandatory labor details, guild sponsorship networks, and sacred ancestral obligations. Salary structures are deeply tied to military hierarchy and merit. Earnings include rank-based stipends, collaborative production shares from guilds, and bounties earned from frontier exploration and dueling rights. Centaurians don't use racial classifications. Instead, they recognize 3 biological morphotypes: the mountain-adapted Kraxan, the plains-adapted Zalori, and the forest-adapted Sulex. Tribal lineages are strictly cultural, and members of any morphotype can belong to any tribe. Gender roles are flexible, with society prioritizing demonstrated skill and function over identity. Discriminatory behavior is addressed through a structured mediation ritual, and laws explicitly protect individuals against role or partnership denial based on tribe or gender. Social order is maintained through ritual authority, mediators, and warrior councils. Centaurians avoid traditional prisons, opting instead for rehabilitative isolation rights. Their defense and policing are decentralized and communal. Immigration is managed through strict, ritualized processes, and the empire maintains fluid, symbolically marked borders. They respond to external threats, with a decentralized defensive strategy involving cohorts and diplomatic deterrence. Finally, the iconic art of prim Minux serves as a central pillar of household life and morality. This symbol anchors Centaurian identity through daily greetings, toasts, and the sacred invocation of ancestral fire during initiation rites.